Why am I here? Does God create me for trial? The answer to this question might differ, depending on one's beliefs or worldview. But from a Christian perspective, we are not created just for trial or hardship. While trials and challenges are a part of life, they are not the ultimate reason for our existence. Instead, God created us for a relationship with Him, to love, serve, and worship Him. Here's a deeper dive into this one: purpose in God's creation. According to the Bible, God created each person with a specific purpose. You were not created by accident or random chance. In fact, Psalm 139:13-14 beautifully reminds us that God formed us in the womb with intention and care. For you created my inmost being, you knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. God doesn't make mistakes, and every person is created with purpose. Our lives are not meant to just be trials or tests. Instead, life's trials can be a part of God's refining process, helping us grow in faith and character. But ultimately, God's purpose for us is love, growth, and fulfillment. 2. Trials and growth. Life on earth is not without its struggles, and sometimes God allows trials as a means of molding us into the person He intends us to be. This doesn't mean that God causes suffering, but He uses life's difficulties to help us grow in perseverance, patience, and character. Romans 5:3-4. Trials are part of the journey, but not the purpose itself. They can lead to greater intimacy with God and deeper trust in Him. 3. God's plan is for good. God's ultimate plan for each of us is good. In Jeremiah 29:11, God says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." This verse assures us that God's intentions for our lives are rooted in His love, and even when we face hardship, His plans are always designed for our good. Trials may be difficult, but they are never the final destination. They are stepping stones toward fulfilling the purpose that God has for us. What does Jesus say about our purpose? Jesus, through His teachings and example, reveals a lot about why we are here and what our purpose in life is. Here are some key lessons. Love God and love people. When asked about the greatest commandment, Jesus responded with two powerful truths. 1. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. Matthew 22:37-39. Jesus clearly states that the greatest purpose of our lives is to love God and love others. Everything flows from this. Our existence is about relationships, our relationship with God and with the people around us. Everything we do, from work to personal life, should reflect this love. 2. Following Jesus is the ultimate purpose. Jesus also invites us to follow Him and become His disciples. He says in Matthew 4:19, "Come, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." Our purpose is not just to exist, but to actively participate in God's mission. In this passage, Jesus was calling the disciples to leave behind their old way of life and step into a new life of purpose, to share His love and message with others. For us, following Jesus means living for something greater than ourselves and aligning our lives with His kingdom. Jesus came to give life abundantly. Jesus' purpose was to bring us life, and not just any life, but abundant life. In John 10:10, He says, "The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life, and have it to the full. Our purpose is found in knowing Jesus and experiencing the fullness of life he offers. It's not just about surviving or enduring. It's about living vibrantly, filled with his love, joy, peace, and purpose. This life doesn't depend on circumstances, but on a deep, fulfilling relationship with him. Conclusion. Why are you here? You are here because God has a unique purpose for you. It's not just about enduring life's trials or gaining worldly success. It's about knowing God, following Jesus, and living a life of love and service to others. God created you with intention, and he has an incredible plan for you. When we align ourselves with his purposes, we find true fulfillment and meaning. Does God create me for trial? No, God doesn't create us for trials. However, he allows trials in our lives to refine us and help us grow. They are not the end of the story, but rather a part of the process. The ultimate goal is to become more like Jesus, reflecting his love, grace, and purpose in everything we do. If you ever feel lost, overwhelmed, or unsure of your purpose, remember, you are loved by God, you are valuable, and you are created for a purpose: to love, to serve, and to reflect him in everything you do. What does this mean for you? 1. Your life has purpose. You were created intentionally by God, and your life has great value and purpose. Your existence is not random, and every moment has significance. God's purpose for you is not about just enduring trials, but about thriving, growing, and fulfilling his mission here on earth. 2. God uses trials to refine you, not define you. Trials can feel like a burden, but they are part of the process that leads to your transformation. They don't define your worth or your purpose. God refines us through these challenges, making us more like him, and giving us the strength to carry out his purpose. 3. Living with love and service. Jesus taught that love and service are at the heart of why we are here. Loving God and loving others is what life is all about. You don't need to have everything figured out to live out this purpose. By loving, serving, and following Jesus, you are fulfilling God's purpose for your life. Conclusion. Why are you here? You are here because God has a unique purpose for you. It's not just about enduring life's trials or gaining worldly success. It's about knowing God, following Jesus, and living a life of love and service to others. God created you with intention, and he has an incredible plan for you. When we align ourselves with his purposes, we find true fulfillment and meaning. Does God create me for trial? No, God doesn't create us for trials. However, he allows trials in our lives to refine us and help us grow. They are not the end of the story, but rather a part of the process. The ultimate goal is to become more like Jesus, reflecting his love, grace, and purpose in everything we do. If you ever feel lost, overwhelmed, or unsure of your purpose, remember, you are loved by God, you are valuable, and you are created for a purpose: to love, to serve, and to reflect him in everything you do.